It's time. It is time Ruben Amarim was sacked. The win percentage is not good enough. The players don't want to play his football. And it's time Man United bring in a proper coach to take us back to the promised land. That is the rhetoric. That is the narrative being discussed today across social media. Some of it holds true, but I do think there is also a delusional element to this, and I'm going to delve into why. So before you leave your comments telling me I'm wrong, hit the like button, make sure you're subscribing, and we're going to delve into it. But I want to first start with what Ruben Amarim had to say yesterday. Let's take a listen to this.
Well, there are all sorts of emotions around this stadium tonight. I'm wondering how you sum up yours in the end.
In the end, for me was worse the beginning. It's not about the results. In the penalties, I was not thinking about the penalties to go to the next stage. I was just, I think the way we play, the way we face competition. In one moment that everything is so important, I think the players spoke really loud about what they want today.
And in what sense?
I just, guys, it's really clear. I just want to apologize to our fans and.
Ruben, they're apologising to the fans, which is nice, which is honourable, but I can't ignore what he just said. The players made it clear about what they want. Gabriel Clark said, "What do you mean?" And he said it's very clear. Now, to some people it isn't, but to me it is, and he is essentially suggesting, implying that the players put in that performance because they don't want to play his brand of football. They don't want him to be the manager anymore. Now, what you get with this is a variety of opinions. Some that don't, and we've had this every time a manager is failing at our club. Doesn't matter how well they've started, what they've won us. Once they start failing, you get this notion of, well, I don't like the football, therefore I agree with the players for downing tools. Or I agree with the players for not giving their all. I did see some people quote tweet this from Ruben and say, well, this is a disgrace. I saw the players work hard. I'd say there was a lack of aggression in that first 30, 35 minutes. Like there wasn't a care in the world, if I'm being honest. And this is where it becomes a very difficult conversation. Because if we want to be children, if we want to be babies, then we'll turn around and just say, yeah, the players are right. The style is crap. It isn't working. Therefore, it's okay to down tools. The problem that you have is that we've continually allowed the players to set that precedent at this football club in the last 13 years. Meaning whenever they are not happy with how a manager wants them to train, how he wants them to work, if he wants them to be more consistent, if he wants them to be better with their fitness, if he wants them to play in a particular style, we have this habit of the players not giving their all. And the fans side with the players because we also agree that we don't like the style of football. But there is almost a bit of a paradox in this that if the players were actually giving their all, maybe we'd get better results and we would like the football. So it becomes a little bit I call it the fat bastard effect. Fat bastard from Austin Powers. I'm unhappy because I'm fat. I eat because I'm unhappy. Because I eat too much, I'm fat. Because I'm fat, I'm unhappy. And it becomes a vicious cycle. And United are in that. Now, I want to be very, very clear because I already know 3 minutes and 30 seconds into this, people will go, but you can't defend the win percentage. You can't defend this. You can't defend that. It's not about defending Ruben Amarim. There is a dichotomy. There is a difference between defending Ruben Amarim, the individual, and the position at the club of which he holds. I'm all for the players speaking to the hierarchy and saying this just doesn't work. We don't like it. He's a bad guy. He's this, he's that, he's the other. He's this. I'm all for fans having their opinions on it. But we shouldn't be, what we cannot allow at the club is for people to undermine those positions and go, well, I'm not going to work hard. I'm not going to give my all. So that needs to, what Ruben has said needs to, at the very least, be investigated, in my personal opinion, to see where things lie.
And we'll have a game now and then we'll have time to think.
What was missing? What was the key thing in that first half, especially, that was missing?
Everything. You have to have. We need to be proud to go to the pitch. We know that every draw in Premier League is going to be a huge problem. So you came from one draw. We play quite well both games in Premier League. We know that people will get everything in our club, and we come to the game with a 4th division team, and we perform like that. I think, again, the players clearly show what they want.
You mean they don't want enough? You mean the mentality isn't good enough?
I think it's not it's hard to speak.
You can hear it there. He doesn't want to say it. Maybe you should have said it. I don't think they want to play for me. And everyone's going to have a mixed bag and a mixed view on this. And I said it last night, and I was very angry when I said it, but I stand on it. I don't care anymore. And you may go, well, if you don't care, why are you here? Of course, I still want Man United to get better. But I'm done with manager in and manager out debates. There is merit for him staying. There is merit for him going. There was merit for each of the previous last 5 or 6 sacked managers to stay and merit for them to go. And what I've found with our fan base, and if you had the time and if you had the inclination to do this, or you could just take my word for it, you can find someone last night or this morning, who is a vehement Amarim outer. But you could go and search their tweets about Oli or about Ten Hag or about Jose, and you'll see, yes, those guys had better starts than Man United, so you could argue a little more credit in the bank. But you will see fierce defending of those managers and talk about the squad being bad and players downing tools. Man United fans go through this cycle, and we're all guilty, and I put myself into this category because we are jaded and we are tired and we are desperate, where if we get a manager we don't like, we tend to side with the players downing tools. If we get a manager we love, we want the club to be run properly so they can flourish, and we're just all at sea. And from my point of view and perspective, as per the thumbnail, would I be surprised to see Fabrizio Romano tweet that we've sacked Ruben, or he's left by mutual consent, or he's handed in his resignation? No. Is there a chance we improve after that? Yes. We could bring in a new head coach. Areola could come in as an example. We could play beautiful football. We could improve. We could start winning more games. And we all go, Terry, oh, you know what? A lot of people were right. It was Ruben holding us back. And I might sit there and go, do you know what? You were right. This is amazing. Man United are better. Because that's all I really want. But my gut feeling is, if we change direction again, so it isn't about a new head coach. Go back and watch what I said the day we hired Ruben. Go back and watch all those videos in that time. So I'm actually okay with us sacking managers if we have a football structure that's always pulling in the same direction. Formation isn't overly key, but it's about bringing in managers that like what we have profile-wise and like what we're building to. You are right, we probably need a coach to get us more wins along the way. That keeps faith going forward, but we can't change direction again. If we change direction again, we are essentially a one-armed man swimming in the ocean. But what's happening is that one-armed man is getting more and more tired, more and more jaded, more and more exhausted. And now he's starting to drown. Every single manager that's left United, no matter how good their peak has been, has left us in a worse position. Squad balance, attitude, toxicity, fan feeling, financially. And a lot of that has been to do with the hierarchy above them. Every manager has left us in a worse circumstance. So do forgive me for not sitting here and being almost excited at the prospect of sacking Amarim, like there is this guarantee it fixes us. There isn't. I had someone say to me today, because I look at this very much and say to myself that Manchester United, whether we sack Ruben or he stays, the real issue at United doesn't change. Every manager has inherited years of dead weight and dysfunction that never gets cleared out. Constant resets lead to us going in circles, and until there is one plan and a proper clear out, I don't think nothing changes. Sacking Amarim now, like previous coaches, might be the correct short-term solution, but fans shouldn't fall into this delusion that he or any of those other managers before were the problem, the biggest issue. We have 13 years of facts, empirical evidence, data, anecdote that proves that to be the case. So as much as I think it is absolutely okay for people to feel this manager isn't good enough, what I don't want us to labour under the illusion of is that removing him in itself fixes us. People like myself have been pushing this message for over a decade, and it always seems to not be listened to at this point. We get dragged in by the basic bitch content creators and journalists that push this notion of remove him, you'll be fine. Get a new captain, you'll be okay. And I think the issue is deeper than that. One of the biggest issues is pulling in the same direction. Where I'd actually be quite encouraged if we were to sack the manager is if we were to pull in a direction whereby we change coach, but 90% of everything else we're doing stays the same. So there's a slight deviation, but we're moving in that same direction. That would maybe bring some faith back to me. But right now, if we sack Amarim, I don't care. If we keep Amarim, I don't really care. I honestly, at this moment, keep Ineos, get rid of Ineos. I don't know. I am honestly at a point, I don't even know if brand new owners would fix this. And I said last night a little flippantly that I've already lost faith in the next manager, and I have. But we could get taken over by the Qataris today. The debt could be paid off. I still don't believe we're going to get back to the top. As a fan base, we are toxic, and we put so much pressure upon our club. We have no patience collectively, which I think seeps into the dressing room. And I don't think new owners changes that. I'm just at a point where I've lost almost all hope. In fact, it's like Pandora's box. Everything's come out now. Last night opened Pandora's box. I suppose there is this little bit of hope that sits there, that we have a plan and that we stick to it. You can change managers during a plan, by the way. I've always been an advocate of, well, I say always, in the last 4 or 5 years, since learning more about how clubs are structured, I've become an advocate of that. But look, I want your views, I want your opinions, please, people, in the comments section below. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you soon. Peace.